At November 2020, once again, there wasn't really a ton that came out here. You had Sweet Taste of Souls, fantasy horror film directed by Terry Ross, that came out November 1st. And then you had Jungle Land, sports drama directed by Max Winkler, that came out November. Okay, it was released in select cinemas on November 6th. Then it got a video on demand release November 10th. And then you had Let Him Go, neo-western drama directed by Thomas Bazooka, based on a novel that came out November 6th. Then The Informer, British crime thriller directed by Andrea Di Stefano, that came out November 6th. And then you had The Dark and the Wicked, supernatural horror film written and directed by Brian Bertino, came out December 6th. And then we got a few Netflix movies here, so let's scroll down. What do we got? Freaky, that was a slasher comedy directed by Christopher Landon. Then it came out November 13th. Then you had Dreamland, period thriller film directed by Miles Joris Perafiti, that had a limited release on November 13th, and then got a video on demand release November 17th. And then you had Fat Man, black comedy action film directed by S. Holm Nelms, came out November 13th. And then The Climb, comedy drama directed by Michelangelo Covino, that came out November 13th. And then you had Chick Fight, action comedy film directed by Paul Layden, that came out November 13th. And then you had, scroll down here, several streaming originals right here. Then you got Jiu-Jitsu, sci-fi martial arts film directed and co-written by Dimitri Logofitis, that's actually based on a 2017 comic book that came out November 20th. And then you had Buddy Games, comedy directed by Josh Duhamel in his directorial debut, that came out, November 24th. Okay, and then you had The Croods: A New Age, sequel to Croods, done by DreamWorks Animation, directed by Joel Crawford in his directorial debut, came out November 25th. And then you had several. Okay, that's it right there, actually. So, not a lot of movies came out in November. Out of these ones, you had Black Beauty came out in November. That was a Disney Plus release. I'm familiar with this story in that there's this older movie called Black Beauty that I actually used to own on VHS tape. I remember that one. Aside from Black Beauty, I ended up seeing The Croods: A New Age later on. I ended up watching that movie later on Peacock, but I didn't watch it in theaters back in November 2020. And I'm not familiar with any of these other movies.